Hi everyone, we are in the third What's Going On conversation. As part of the World Environment Day celebrated this month, I will talk about the importance of combating water crisis together with the climate crisis for youth with activist and journalist Sena Alouka. He has been at the forefront of the global environment justice since 1999 and created several groups, namely the NGO Young Volunteers for the Environment, today the largest environmental movement in Africa. Sena is extensive work related to wash, environment, and youth, and we will meet him today. Welcome, Sena. How are you?
Je vais très bien. I'm very fine. Bonjour Nikki. Bonjour le monde. Buenos dias. Bon dia a todos.
You know how to speak Spanish too.
Un poco, señorita. Sí.
Well, I love to know the stories about how each activist starts. I start to be an activist at the beginning of 2019 because I hear about the movement that was being created in Europe of one people fighting for the climate crisis, and I felt that the need to create a local expression of that movement because in my country now nobody was talking about the climate crisis. So with some friends we create Youth for Climate Argentina, but I want to hear from you, how and why did you become an environmental activist?
Well, thank you very much for this great opportunity, and particularly the opportunity to bridge the whole discussion conversation around climate change, wash, and that of sustainable development. My story started from very long ago. Let me say here, I have just inherited of a culture of fighting, of not giving up to fatality, standing up, looking for solutions. My people, my tribe left from Egypt. From Egypt, they moved to Chad, Nigeria, Benin, and now we're in Togo. Togo is a small country in between Ghana and Benin, Burkina Faso to the north, in West Africa, just 7 million people here. We're not that many. And so I've just inherited from that story of my people fighting for justice, looking for better livelihood. And as I grew up, I also had the chance to belong to a social movement that is, advocating for a better future, for a paradise. And it happened in '99 that a fire started in the mountain next to my village, and we decided as young people then to do something about it. And so we created the first organization called United Youth for Environmental Protection. That was in '99, and then after some time we decided to change the name. So the name was changed to Young Volunteer for the Environment. So that's how I started, basically from the story of my people, of my tribe, and also myself as a kid. And I saw this fire that consumed all the food of our parents. So we decided to do something about it to protect our natural belt.
That's so interesting. And you mentioned in many of your talks that the water problem where you live. Can you tell us more, like why it's important for youth climate activists to take this issue into account where you live and also in other countries?
Young people need to understand that they are not leaders for tomorrow, but they're leaders of today. It's important for young people first to take to be aware of the situation. Second, to get the information, proper information, what is happening, what is the linkage between the lack of sanitation to poor governance in their communities. What is the linkage between school enrollment of young people and that of sanitation and hygiene? To understand why there is less and less, young people in the communities, and all of them are flying to the cities. So young people need to get that information. Thirdly, for young people, it's important for them to go and get the necessary support from the elders, from entrepreneurs, for those who have already, adult, let's use that. And finally, for them to take action. And by taking action is about creating new solutions, disrupting the system, innovating, but also doing things in a very intelligent and clever and better way.
You said something very important, and it's that we are the leaders of today, and you are one of the founders, or you're one of the leaders of JVE, a very important organization, and I want to know more about that, and also how are the youth contributing to change in your country.
From a small organization started from that community with no power, no electricity. Today, we managed to create the largest youth environmental movement in Africa. We are present in 28 countries, and we are celebrating this year our 20th anniversary. So when it comes to supporting young people, we have supported about 1,500 young people from all over the world to take action, offering a range of solutions. So we are giving a platform for young people to come and take action, not to tell them what to do, but as I said before, we taking in young people to tell us what they think we should be doing. And thanks to their help, we have been able to innovate new solutions in terms of how to adapt our farming system to the climate change, how to offer some new energy solutions to replace kerosene and also candles, how to offer new solutions in the place in lieu of chemicals, pesticide, and herbicide. We have new organic manure that we are promoting today. Instead of cutting trees, we are offering new ways of making money by keeping your trees standing through some new innovative biodiversity payment mechanism. We offer young people solutions that enable them to create either in the sector of IT, health, or education, etc., etc. So I'm so happy today to see that thanks to that activity we started to do, young people in Malawi, in Benin, in Ghana, in Togo, just type young volunteers for the environment, or in French, Jeunes Volontaires pour l'environnement.
And Sina, how can governments work closely with youth to solve the water problem?
Well, I have been attending all the past climate conversations in the past 15 years. I started from COP11 in Montreal in 2005. And after various COPs, the government would not allow us to be part of the delegation, blah, blah, blah. In Warsaw, I think that was COP12, COP14, I was asked to write the speech of my minister. How or why? Because they saw that I understood the issues better than they could. So I think it comes back to us or to young people. Stop begging for space, platform. Just go and act. Me, I participate in some conferences with my own resources, riding on my bicycle or either walking. I go there with no DSA, no per diem. Still, I come there. And I've made my proof over the years. And now there's no way they can skip me. There's no way they can skip whether in Benin or in Ghana. Today, as you see in most countries, there's no specific law or legal arrangement to enable young people to take action, which can prevent some of them to be very active. So government should create the enabling environment for young people to take action. That's top number one. Number two, government can give this type of space, space, mean time, resources, etc. Invite young people to your event. Let them be there. Give them a voice. Give them 1 minute to make a statement. If you are creating a delegation to a conference or something, make sure you have a young people within that delegation. That's the second thing the government can do. The third one, I think, which is very important, is to share, to create this, let me say, sharing of experience platform. Government officials, they have an amazing knowledge, but oftentimes there's no space for them to make use of that. And young people have created various NGOs, youth enterprises, etc., and they are looking for the same experience. Why can't government allow their workers to go and support the young people in their various activities, or coach them, or mentor them, support them, advise them? We need to find space. Government and other stakeholders should find a space, should find a mechanism to recognize, reward, incentivize, and support these young people.
Well, when I went to the COP25, I was surprised by the underrepresentation of young people, young activists from the global south. And as we are getting prepared for the next COP, what will be your recommendation for all the young people who are listening to you on how they can contribute to the climate conversation in their countries or region, and also during the COP?
After several years attending these climate masses, this environmental business, masses as we call them, we have become more climate tourists than climate activists. Um, First thing is, I think there is a saying in my village that don't curse the night, but put on the light. What I mean is, for young people, COP26 is at the door. Don't wait for anyone to. No, this is the time for you to start reading, understanding what are the issues at stake. What is UNCCC? How does it work? How does the negotiations how is it organized? Who participates? How can be my fair share in that? And secondly, it takes some interest in what is happening at national level. Go to see your climate national focal point. They are very easily accessible. If you don't know how to find them, I have the email and contact for all the world climate focal point. You can be from Venezuela, Nicaragua, Somalia, or Chad. Go talk to them. Third is there are a lot of documents being prepared right now. For instance, the National Determined Contribution, the NDCs. The NDCs are the document through which our countries, our government, are going to express their willingness to participate in the global effort to combat climate change by saying up to which level they want to reduce their CO2 emissions. Go and participate in that conversation. There is a space for young people there. You can be a farmer, you can be a student. Go and participate. Fourth thing you can do is networking. If you are in the Northern Africa, or in Africa, or in Canada, or in the US, etc., there are continental platforms. The Europeans have their one. In Africa, we have what we call the African Youth Initiative of Climate Change, AYICC.
We are coming to the end. I have one other question about how can the SWA partnership support youth like us to combat water and the climate crisis?
Well, Sanitation and Water for All is an amazing platform. It shows how when people come together, an amazing power and energy can sprout from there. It's SWA. I would say it's a materialization of SDG 17 about the need to create a multi-stakeholder partnership. And I can see in various countries how SWA has already sparkled action. I see the added value of SWA. Create a platform for people to engage, to discuss, and come to a common position. That will be very important because more and more we can see this fragmentation of spaces. So I think SWA can, offer this space for various, constituencies to come and discuss. SWA will help to bring to the fore these forgotten topics about sanitation. Of course, the climate conversation, the UN or COP26, is not about environment per se. It's not environment. It's about climate change. But it has a lot of implications, even up to sanitation and hygiene. That's why I think it's very important that this discussion also takes place and to ensure that the whole aspect of dignity, of human rights, of equity, of participation, of community engagement, etc., of youth inclusion, all those aspects being considered in this climate negotiation. I think that's where SW can bring an added value, space, and also bringing forward the topic of everybody's access to sanitation, water, and hygiene.
I totally agree, and thank you, Sena, for this amazing conversation, and it was a pleasure.
Merci beaucoup, Nikki. Thank you, and keep up the good work. And see you soon in Glasgow.